What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who currently is the undisputed super middleweight world champion, widely considered by many to be the face of the sport of boxing, top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, in Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is now 58 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. He had his highly anticipated trilogy with 2-time unified middleweight world champion, Kazakhstanian superstar boxer, Gennady Triple G Golovkin. Okay, Gennady Golovkin has now suffered another loss, decisive loss to Canelo Alvarez. Okay, he essentially lost every single round to Canelo Alvarez. But the judges, they tried to find a way to give the fight to Gennady Golovkin. But nonetheless, Canelo Alvarez just outclassed Triple G in this fight. They fought the first time September of 2017. It ended in a draw. They fought September of 2018. It ended with Canelo Alvarez the victor, and it was controversial. And this time they fought again, and it wasn't close. It was a dominating performance. Now, leading up into this fight, Canelo Alvarez had made some statements in which he stated that he didn't want to fight any more Mexican fighters. He didn't want to fight Mexican fighters because he represents Mexico. And that ticked me off and a lot of people, because it's irresponsible to the sport of boxing and to the fans. Some of the greatest fights in the history of sport of boxing is Mexico on Mexico fights, okay? Eric Morales and Barrera, okay? Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and Oscar De La Hoya. Some of the greatest Mexican fights, some of the best fights in history are Mexican on Mexican fighters, right? And so Canelo Alvarez, he finally responds to those comments. He never really addressed why he said it, or his vision about it. Well, now Canelo Alvarez, he has responded, and 2 big fights and 2 big fighters are looking to fight Canelo Alvarez, and that's undefeated 2-time WBC super middleweight world champion, Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer David Benavidez, and former WBC super middleweight world champion, light heavyweight title contender, Mexican superstar boxer Zurdo Ramirez. They both are vying for an opportunity to fight against Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo Alvarez, we know he's coming off a loss going in his Triple G fight against WBA light heavyweight world champion, Russian superstar boxer Dmitry Bivol, who outclassed Canelo Alvarez Cinco de Mayo weekend, winning all but maybe 2 or 3 rounds at best. He just dominated. Dmitry Bivol dominated Canelo Alvarez. Dmitry Bivol is now in a position where he has to defend his WBA title against the mandatory, which happens to be Zurdo Ramirez, okay? And so Canelo Alvarez was asked if he wants a rematch with Dmitry Bivol, if Dmitry Bivol wins against Zurdo Ramirez, or if Zurdo beats Dmitry Bivol, does he want to fight Zurdo? And that's when, once again, the comments came out about him not wanting to fight another Mexican fighter, okay? So he stated he's not willing to fight another Mexican fighter because he represents Mexico, okay? And he says that if Zurdo wins, he don't want to fight Zurdo because he's Mexican, but then he don't want to fight Bivol because Bivol lost, right? And obviously that wasn't met with, good comments, because people are disappointed. It's disappointing. And so now he clarifies it after this win against Triple G, and he states that he's just trying to be respectful to his country, and he represents Mexico, but he's simply saying he really don't care who you are and what you represent. He have no problem, and I'm gonna paraphrase, and and fighting you and beating you. Now, we know he used other words to describe it, right? And then he goes in on David Benavidez, but just listen to what Canelo Alvarez had to say regarding this situation.
Guys, always I say this, you share that video and put whatever you want. When I say...
So he said you could show the video and say whatever you want regarding him not wanting to fight other Mexican fighters. He said you could say what you want.
I don't want to fight Mexican is because I represent Mexico. And that's why.
So he's reiterating that obviously he represents Mexico, and that's why he don't want to fight him. But listen to his response to it.
But I don't care. I fight anybody, and I fight all my entire life anybody.
The majority of Canelo Alvarez fights early in his career, his first 40 fights, was against Mexican fighters, okay? And he did have a big showdown with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., which did a million pay-per-views.
What do you think? I don't want to fight with Juan Mexico or Benavidez. But look.
So here he says, what makes you think I don't want to fight with other Mexican fighters? And then he singles out David Benavidez.
I hear his dad talking a lot of shit. But look, he's a
So now David Benavidez's father, Jose Benavidez Sr., he recently stated that he was going to buy Canelo Alvarez a chain with balls on it, so that, you know, he can grow some, because he don't have none, and he's avoiding David Benavidez. So Canelo Alvarez is clearly annoyed by these comments.
Please, nothing. One single champion, Anthony Dirrell.
So he's saying David Benavidez has done nothing in his career. He fought one single champion, Anthony Dirrell. Now, I got to respond to that, because Canelo Alvarez fought Caleb Plant, who fought and beat two champions in his career, Jose Uzcategui and Anthony Dirrell. He's getting ready to fight Anthony Dirrell now. Okay, how many world champions did Caleb Plant beat? But you fought Caleb Plant. You fought Billy Joe Saunders. How many world champions did Billy Joe Saunders beat? And how many world champions did Caleb Smith beat? You fought all of these guys. And David Benavidez is widely considered the best super middleweight in the world over all of those guys, and would have been favored over all of those guys should he have fought them when he had the WBC title. Now, keep in mind, David Benavidez lost his title due to recreational use, okay? And then he lost his title on the scale during the global pandemic. He never lost his titles in the ring, and Canelo Alvarez fought for those vacant titles. David Benavidez was viewed as the best super middleweight in the world. So I have to disagree with Canelo when he says that David Benavidez hasn't done anything. But what did Caleb Smith do? What did Billy Joe Saunders do? What did Caleb Plant do? Caleb Plant beat Jose Uzcategui. He's getting ready to fight Anthony Dirrell right now. Now, I understand that David Benavidez doesn't have the title right now, but you picked up his vacant title that he lost on the scale, and now you don't want to fight him. He's a bigger fight than all of those guys. So he's talking about his accomplishments. Well, what did he accomplish, right? Going into calling out Floyd Mayweather before he fought Austin Trout, and Floyd Mayweather directed him to fight Austin Trout before Floyd Mayweather fought him, while he was vying for an opportunity to fight against Floyd Mayweather. But listen.
Please, don't disrespect myself. Please, guys.
So he says it's disrespectful to compare him and to put him in a situation where people are calling for, a reasoning as to why, an explanation to why he says he doesn't want to fight Mexican fighters, and as far as his status goes. So now he's saying, don't disrespect my status because, he's accomplished a lot. Well, again, like I said, I have to disagree, because he didn't have a problem fighting Caleb Plant. Yes, we could say, well, Caleb Plant had the IBF title, but how many world champions did Caleb Plant beat in his career before he fought Caleb Plant, right? Yes, he had the IBF title, but how many world champions did he beat? How many? Okay, and David Benavidez has been looking for an opportunity to fight against Caleb Plant for a long time. The biggest fight at super middleweight was Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. Okay, and you fought Caleb Smith. How many world champions and world-class fighters did Caleb Smith fight and beat? Again, you fought Caleb Smith because he had a title, but who did he beat for the title? That counts, right? Then you got to look at Billy Joe Saunders. How many world champions outside of David Lemieux did Billy Joe Saunders beat? World-class fighters. Okay, we got to keep that in mind when he's saying, what did David Benavidez do? This is a cop-out for fighters not to fight other fighters, and I respect the fact that fighters should fight each other. No doubt about it. These fighters should be mixing it up. But don't act like this dude, David Benavidez is looking to fight all the best. He's been calling out all the best. He's been trying to fight Jamal Charlo, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, Demetrius Andrade. He's trying to fight, well, not so much Demetrius Andrade, but the rest of the guys, he's trying to fight them. And Canelo Alvarez knows there's politics within the sport of boxing. Just like he's stating, who did he beat? Well, how is he going to beat him if they don't get in the ring with him? right? But you fought Rocky Fielding. Who did Rocky Fielding beat? You fought Avni Yildirim, okay, who was your sparring partner. What world champions did he beat? When was he a world champion? You had no problem fighting these guys. So why David Benavidez has to accomplish the world, the sun, moon, and stars before you fight David Benavidez? Avni Yildirim didn't fight and beat no world champions. So why do you get an opportunity? Why does he get an opportunity to fight you? Because the level of competition is different. It's a different risk versus David Benavidez and Avni Yildirim, period. But Canelo Alvarez says he don't have a problem fighting Mexican fighters, so let's see if he stands true to that. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for you. Peace.